All right, Ben, these are your questions. You
Okay.
have to answer them. You don't have. I don't want you to keep anything secret or anything out because I really have to write a paper on this. Okay, so this is the first few questions about school. Tell me about some of the things you're interested in and activities you're involved in at school.
Okay. I really like my chemistry class, and that's been fun. We've got a lot of cool stuff we've done. We've got to burn a lot of stuff. And drama, that's been really fun. I've liked going through the play and learning how to act and stuff.
And you didn't like it at the beginning, huh? No, you didn't. What about activities? Any activities that you do at school?
No, not really.
Okay, what's your favorite thing about school and why?
Probably lunch.
Why?
Because it's you get a break from all your classes and you get to eat and see your friends.
So what do you wish you could change about school? Besides the hot lunch program.
I don't have really many things that I would really change that are very important. Probably put a bit of a longer passing period between classes. Maybe have some more lockers because a lot of people, there's like 2 to a locker, but everyone has a ton of stuff that they have to bring.
Why would you have a longer passing time?
Because a lot of times if you have to go to the bathroom, get a drink, fill up your water bottle, get your stuff, and then get to the next class, it's not really as much as...
How many time do you get?
It's like 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So if I was just going from one class to the next, that's nothing. Or
yeah,
it doesn't take up any time. But if I'm going to everything that I need to do,
and water and bathroom. How important is it to you that you do well in school?
It's really important to me, especially now that I'm in a few college classes, that I really want to get a really high mark set for later in life, and I want to be able to graduate. And I also want to get a good job later in the future, and I know that getting good grades and doing well in school can help with that.
Okay. So what's your motivation for doing well in school?
I don't like to have things be late. It stresses me out to turn things in that are late or to get something back that's like a C or a D. And it stresses me out because I guess it's just sort of in the background of my brain all the time that I always want to be doing my best. And if I don't do my best, it stresses me out.
That's ever since you were a kid. How much pressure do you feel from your parents to do well?
Not much, because I pretty much pressure myself into it, but they do want me to succeed.
What about from your peers?
A lot of my peers do pretty well, and it's sort of like a little bit of a friendly competition.
Yeah.
So I want to impress them and do well at the same time. So.
Okay, this isn't one of the questions, but I'm just curious. So do you think if you had a different set of friends, you would be doing as well in school?
I don't think it would make much of a change.
But there wouldn't be that competition if you had
I might pressure them into getting better grades if they didn't.
Okay. What difficulties have you experienced when changing to new schools? You've done that a couple times. Especially this last time.
And with going from one school where you knew people and then to the next school where you didn't know anyone. And I think this last one was the hardest. Going into 7th grade, just because there was a different schedule change, and there was every single person I knew was completely new, and it was kind of a different style of school than I had been used to from the last year.
Right.
But I think it was pretty easy after the first couple weeks because I got to know some people and I hung out with them, and a lot of people were really nice and tried to get me involved and stuff.
So was there what was your your difficulties besides the schedule and not knowing anyone? What?
A lot of times that they would talk about, even now they talk about stuff that they would do like in 6th grade and stuff, and
you feel kind of left out.
I feel kind of like I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Like sometimes a teacher will say, "Remember you did something like this in 6th grade," and I won't remember anything.
You're like, not me.
Yeah.
How do you generally spend your after school time?
I do some homework and I lay around and play video games when I can.
Oh. Okay. The next section is about friends.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about your friends. What are they like? Are there many or just a few? Do you hang out with the same people at school, at church, and at home? So tell me a little bit about your friends, what they're like.
I guess they're all like outgoing people. We all we try to make everyone feel accepted if there's someone new. What kind of things do you mean?
Do you have a lot? How many friends? Like, do you have a lot of friends or just a couple of friends or?
Somewhere in between. But I don't necessarily hang out with all of them at the same time.
Okay.
Like a lot of times people hang out at different places and I'll go and talk to them.
What do you mean hang out at different places?
Like
at school?
Yeah.
You're talking about school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sometimes some people will hang out at like a certain table, or sometimes they'll walk around.
So you don't have like one group and that's the group you stay in and that's the only people you're friends with.
Sometimes I'll go and talk to other people if they don't look so happy and stuff like that.
Okay. Do you hang out with the same people at school, church, and home?
No.
Okay. So why?
Especially because most of my friends don't go to the same church, and I live so far away from the school that there's none of my friends that overlap really. But
your friends don't really live by the school either, do they? I mean, you all kind of live.
Yeah. But no one. Yeah, but I do hang out with, when I have friends, they're typically my school friends at home.
Why is that?
I'm around them a lot more often, so I know them a lot more, so I know the kind of stuff they like to do.
But you do stuff with like Ethan. What is it about your friends that makes you like to be with them?
They're really funny.
Yeah.
We all like the same kind of stuff. And if someone likes something that no one else really is into, we all sort of like listen to them and still talk about stuff without making them feel left out because they like something else.
Good. That's a good thing. What type of activities do you like to do with your friends?
I like to play video games, and we like skateboarding. We had a lot of fun these last couple times going over to each other's houses and skateboarding and stuff. That's been pretty fun.
Cool. Go to the bathroom. I'm just going to keep that rolling because then I have to start a whole new one. So I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So I thought of a question. So you told me that most of your friends don't go to your church. So do you feel different, or do you feel like you can't really talk about your religion with your friends, or do you think it causes issues, or do you feel swayed by them to not?
Like I said, a lot of my friends, they well, we all kind of, if someone doesn't know what you're talking about, they still listen to you. And so a lot of times I'll have questions and I'll be able to answer them, but most of the time they don't really care and they don't pressure me into doing anything they know I wouldn't do.
Okay. Do you have a best friend that you would especially enjoy being with?
Not really.
No?
Mm-mm.
Then I can't finish answering those. Okay. Are there specific peer groups at your school, like cliques or groups, like the nerds or the, or whatever you guys have?
I don't think there's like a certain type of people that hang out together, but I do think everyone picks their own friends and they sort of stay around them. But there's not really, it's not like split between the sport kids and the nerds and stuff. Everyone pretty much tolerates each other.
Do you think that's because it's a charter school, or do you think it's just the kids who go there?
I think it's because there's not enough people to really split everyone into a group, and so everyone knows that not everyone is going to have their own set of friends with just them. So everyone sort of tries to fit together.
Did you see that at Sage Valley?
No.
Or was it? It was very. It was very different.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't really have specific peer groups. So you couldn't tell me what you belong to. You're just kind of friends with everyone. That's kind of how I was. How often do your friends pressure you to do something contrary to your beliefs? Boy, I had that question in there. You asked me.
Never.
No? Do you ever feel like you don't want to go to church because your other friends don't, and so what's the point?
No.
How often do they help you make good choices when faced with difficult decisions?
I haven't had that many difficult decisions around my friends at school, but typically they have the same kind of standards as I do with like making decisions.
And sex and rock and roll. How do they do that? How do they help you? How do they help you with your choices and some things they do?
We just stay away from stuff like that. We don't do anything.
You just don't kind of talk about it or anything. Mm-hmm. Do you think you have an influence on your friends?
I think I do.
And how? In what way? Like a good influence, a bad influence? What do you think you help them? Well, you said you have like a competition with like grades and stuff, so you probably help others improve their school because they want to be behind Ben. How other ways do you think you might influence them? So let me think. So when you first started school here, and they didn't know what your morals or your religious beliefs were, do you think that you've improved them by not, you don't cuss, or do you think that's kind of, you dress modestly, you probably don't talk about dirty jokes and stuff like that? Is that something that they changed, or is that just who they were? They were good to begin with, and
I think it's pretty much stayed the same.
So there really hasn't been a big influence. If one of your friends was going to do something harmful or illegal, would you be willing to inform an adult in order to stop them? Now, you don't have to answer that just because I'm your mom. I want you to answer how you really would feel.
If someone was doing something that we know not to do, I would tell someone.
Like if you found out, like, one of your friends stole something at the store and he was like telling you about it, and it's really cool, would you do something about it? What would you tell?
Well, since I know all their parents, hey, did you know?
Would you feel comfortable? Mrs. Collins or Mrs. Oldenkamp about Isaac told me he stole this candy bar at school. Or do you feel like that would be tattling on them?
I feel like that they would realize it was wrong once their parents were telling them.
But, people change in high school. What about you found out that they were sleeping with somebody and they could get somebody pregnant? You going to tell their parents? Yeah. Or are you going to tell them, like, you're dumb, what are you doing? Okay. How much pressure do you feel to look or dress a certain way?
I don't look bad. I want to keep myself how I am.
But do you feel pressured from others to, like, get your hair just right, or is it because you see them look nice, you want to look nice, and you want to impress the girls?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have to change much about yourself in order to fit in with your friends?
I really think it's sort of a mutual thing. We all kind of try to fit with each other.
Well, I know Isaac's kind of going through this black period, but you guys aren't all wearing black. So
just we accept everyone else.
So if you came and you went through a yellow period where everything you wore was yellow, you think they'd be okay with that? Or do you think they'd
I think for the first while they would.
If you like the man with the yellow hat. But why? Did you guys tease Isaac? No, you just kind of accepted he was going through a phase, and you don't tease him and go, "Oh, black again, huh?" Or what's going on with your hair? No? Or yes, just maybe a little bit out of friendly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we ask him, what color did you dye your hair this week?
Oh, is he dyeing his hair different colors?
Dyed it blonde, and then white, and then black now. Not totally, just like in the front.
Interesting. Yeah. So do you feel like you need to do something like that in order to fit in?
No.
Do you have to have certain clothes to fit in with others?
There's a dress code, so it's not.
Well, I meant outside of school. Do you feel like, okay, you pay attention to what you're wearing, and I'm not going to wear my Minion shirt because Dallin might laugh at me, but I really like my Minion shirt.
Dallin likes me.
Okay, well, whatever, you know what I'm saying, right? Like, if you really liked that shirt, but everyone thought it was stupid, would you still wear it?
Possibly not around them.
Just a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you feel about the friends how do your parents feel about the friends you've chosen?
My parents like them. They've met them all, and they think they're kind of cool.
How interested are they in getting to know your friends?
A lot. They really want to know what they're doing and what's up.
You think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's pretty good, so that parents know what their kids' friends are like, so that they can learn more about their kids and about what kind of influences they have.
Why do you think that's important?
So that if something happens, that they know what might have influenced that.
Okay. What characteristics or qualities are important to you in who you would select to date? And I haven't read any of these questions, so.
Nice.
What are some qualities? Nice. Okay. That's a lot of people, Ben. So what else?
I don't know.
I mean, good looking. You have to pick somebody who's cute. You want to like, yeah, no, there's no ugly girls. A member of the church, not a member of the church. Does that matter to you at this point?
I'm not 16. I wouldn't know.
Well, pretend you're, you have to start thinking about these things for a year.
With the way that we've been talking about like dating in church and stuff, it's about getting to know people at this point. And so it shouldn't be just members of the church, because you're trying to get to know people, not trying to get to know members.
Not. So. What about like group dating and going out with a bunch of people? Is that something that you think, or do you think you need a girlfriend? And do your friends think that they need to have a girl, or
no one does?
No one does. Is that good or bad? No. What qualities do you think are important to your parents? The girls that you would
having the same standards, modesty, and not doesn't say bad words, things like that.
So those things aren't important to you?
No, they are.
Oh, because you didn't say that before. All you said was nice. So I didn't know if that was
Okay.
it. Okay. How do you determine when you're ready to date?
When I turned 16.
Well, Sunny turned 16 and didn't ask anyone out. So how will you determine if you're ready to date?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay. What would be your main reason for dating?
I don't know.
Getting to know someone? Is that kind of what you just said?
Yeah.
Spending
Okay.
time with someone you like?
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want to keep going?
Is that half of the questions?
That's 16 of the questions.
Okay.
Okay. So the next part is family life.
Okay.
And this is for, some of them might be really stupid because I am part of your family, but this is for me to ask any teenager. What is your family situation? In other words, who do you live with?
We've got a mother and a father, and I have 2 older siblings and 2 younger siblings. 1 older sister, 1 younger sister, 1 older brother, 1 younger brother, and I memorized that so that
And
I could tell people.
Very in the middle. But who do you live with?
Everyone but my older sister.
Okay. How well do you get along with your parents?
I think pretty well. They set a standard, and I do my best to follow it. But sometimes we get into conflicts, things that I don't think are fair, stuff like that.
Do you feel like they understand what's happening in your life?
I feel like they do, because they kind of went through that, went through being a teenager. I don't think they know everything exactly as I do with my life, but I think they have a pretty good idea, and I tell them if anything's wrong, so they'll know.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is there one parent you feel more comfortable with?
No.
You're supposed to say, oh, Mother, it's you. You're my favorite. So let's try this again. Is there one parent you feel more comfortable with?
I'm
just kidding.
No.
Really? Okay. My little baby bear. Okay.
Did you want me to say Dad?
No, you're supposed to say me.
Mom, well, no, then it wouldn't be true. But I don't feel more comfortable with Dad either.
All right. Has your relationship with your parents changed as you've gotten older?
I think it's been about the same since a point when I was like a little kid. I pretty much did everything with them, and they knew everything exactly how it happened, and basically were with me all the time.
So how has it changed?
As I grew up since I've been about like 11 or 12, last few years, it hasn't really changed much. But before that, it was pretty much they knew absolutely everything, even the stuff that didn't really matter.
Okay. So how has the relationship changed? Like getting along, or?
I think it's gone a little downhill, just because I get my own ideas and opinions, and they have theirs, so we kind of conflict a lot more.
Do you want to be more independent? Mm-hmm. To what extent does your relationship with your parents influence your behavior?
I think sometimes if we get into arguments and things like that, I won't be very happy, and sometimes I'll just be sad and won't be able to do anything.
So if you're not having a good relationship with your parents, and then you kind of feel sad and you kind of get more irritated, but if you're having a good time with your parents and it's going well,
and it's harder to get irritated and stay happy.
Your parents have a big influence over your relationship with your parents have a big influence over you. As you've watched your parents' marriage, what characteristics are most important to having a good marital relationship?
Well, my parents love each other, and they do their best to get along with each other. And when conflicts happen, they resolve them quickly, and they don't try to drag arguments on forever. But they do try to tell each other their opinions and try to be heard. And I think that's a good thing to have too, because you don't want your spouse to be always controlling you,
Mhm.
but you also really shouldn't be controlling your spouse either.
Mhm.
So,
Any other characteristics?
they both follow the gospel, and they both set a good example for us. They show us what to do, even if we're not going to be doing that for a while, like driving and stuff like that.
With marital relationship.
Hmm?
About having a good marital relationship.
Oh.
Describe your relationship with your brothers and sisters. And where do you fit in your family sibling order?
I'm in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, a lot of times.
So let's talk about Sunny.
Okay.
You and Sunny, what is your relationship with him?
We're really good friends. We have been for years. And when I was sort of little, like maybe 8 or 9, he really like showed me a lot of stuff that I thought was cool, and that really influenced the kind of stuff I like. And so from that point on, we both liked the same stuff. We both played the same type of video games and stuff like that. So we became better and better friends. And if we have any conflicts or anything, they don't typically last for very long because we're so much of alike. And it's mostly things like cleaning the room and stuff that we're different that usually gets us into conflicts.
Okay. What about Juliana?
We get into conflicts more often, and I can see that that's probably because we have very different opinions and have different lives, and that I didn't really influence Julie like Sunny influenced me, that she likes her own kind of stuff, and that's where I think we get into a lot of conflicts because we're more different.
How do you think you can improve that?
Probably accept her for what she does and for what she likes without trying to argue with her.
What about Oliver?
He barely talks, and I think he really gets influenced by a lot of what we say because he only learns his words from us.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I've influenced him a bit because he likes to watch people play video games and watch movies and stuff. But I haven't really gotten into like fights with him because I can sort of move him away from whatever he wants to do.
He's still movable.
Yeah.
Okay, what about Ellie? Like when she lived here and then now she's not living here.
I sort of just didn't get involved.
Okay. What about now?
Still didn't get involved.
There's no relationship there, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do your parents treat you and your siblings similarly or differently?
I think because there's an age gap between us. There's like a 4-year age gap that you have to treat us all differently in a way. That you have to treat Sunny as he's an adult, but you have to still treat him like a kid because he's your kid, and you have to make sure he's doing what he needs to be. But you treat me differently because I'm not an adult, so you still have authority over what I do. And then you treat Julie differently because she's younger and she's still learning, and things like that. And then you treat Oliver differently because he's a toddler and he gets into stuff.
He's cute, really. I mean, I just hold him and kiss him, and you guys would not like that. Okay, what chores are you responsible for in your home?
Once or twice a week I do dishes. Once or twice a week I cook, sweep, clear off the food off the table. I have to clean my room, mow the front lawn, occasionally clean the refrigerator out. I used to do the bathrooms, wash the dog. Yeah. That's
trying to help out.
Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Do you receive any compensation for doing this?
As far as being able to live and eat in this house, I think that's about my compensation.
Take you places.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of rules does your family have?
Well, we follow the gospel, and so we have to keep up with the standards. We need to keep our rooms clean if we want to have friends over, things like that. We have to be responsible for what we do. Like, we can't leave messes all over the place. We also have to remember to do our chores.
How do you feel about these rules?
I think they're in place so that we can keep everything clean and we keep the spirit in our house.
And you know I'm videotaping this so then I can come back and go, see, you didn't have any problems with the rules. Okay. What are the consequences of not obeying the rules?
We get in trouble. We don't get to have friends over. We have to do more dishes or sweep the floor for someone else on their day. Things like that. Yeah, we have to do more chores because we forgot.
Not forgot. More like you've been reminded
Or we
10,000 times. And you didn't. Do you act different around your parents compared to when you're around your friends?
Well, I don't typically sit and talk about video games with my parents 24/7. But I think I'm pretty much the same between friends and parents. I'm not like a different person.
Okay. Of all the people who are important in your life, who are you most likely to go to when you have a problem or need advice?
Mom or dad.
Oh my God. Why?
Because they know me the most and they really listen to me and give me advice. And so if I needed to talk to them, I could get all my problems answered and stuff like that.
Okay. You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. Finding out about you. How would you describe yourself? Or like 3 or 4 words to describe yourself,
yeah, we
or
can
whatever.
stop here.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we're
I
just
have to think about that one.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll stop for now and we'll finish later.